Here we go again, sharing the chair with my boy, Timmy. He is just sitting here. He's been doing this lately. He just has to be attached to my behind the whole time I do these videos. Oh my goodness. Well, I feel so loved. It's nice to have a little heating pad in the middle of summer right behind my tush. It's so awesome. Anyway, happy Monday, all. Hello everyone, this is Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and I'm back with another Mindful Monday. And before I get into today's topic, I just want to thank everyone for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to click like and subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the journey as I explore different topics throughout this channel. And today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what our story is. We all tend to go through our lives with a certain perspective on what our actual identity is. Now, identity can be different things. It can be what you perceive yourself as, what you perceive yourself doing, what you perceive yourself able to do, or what you're limited in. It can have a lot of in-the-box kind of thinking. And it's also the perspective from others, how they view you, how they think you always are, or what you are not. And it's a really interesting perspective because your own perspective of yourself can be totally different from the people viewing you. And I've noticed more and more, a lot of us are starting to wake up a little bit in the world due to everything going on, as I always say, the pandemic. And we're all starting to explore our inner selves, get back in touch with the roots of who we truly are beyond this avatar. And also, critical thinking is starting to slowly come into the picture. Some of us still have a long way to go, and that's okay. That's just where we're at right now, as long as we keep moving forward and slowly start waking up. However, I noticed that there is an underlying common theme that, me included for a while, we all tend to think of ourselves in this little neat box. If we come from a certain family makeup, as far as it being maybe domestically broken, or maybe a very supportive family, but if there's pressure put on you, we're conditioned to think in certain ways, conditioned to what our family expects from us or what society expects from us. And that can sometimes be okay, and a lot of the time not very good in the long run, because we tend to limit our beliefs and limit ourselves in what we can and can't do. To give you an example, when I was growing up, I have a very strong family support system, still do. My parents were fantastic. They were there for me from the get-go. I had medical problems almost immediately after I was born. And being of short stature, I had a lot of medical issues. I had over 17 leg surgeries and some back issues and just all kinds of hot mess stuff. And it was a very trying childhood. However, they made my childhood very, very beautiful in so many different ways. I was still mainstreamed, even though I got tutored a lot at home. When I was in school, I was in mainstream classes. I made a lot of friends, and I actually related to adults a lot more in retrospect, because I was around adults more, including doctors and nurses and just different patients. And I always had a kind of an old soul way of thinking of things. And I'm very blessed, and it was a really good life. However, it was very hard for me because I'm a very positive, upbeat person, and I tend to go through tough times 50-50, half freaking out and just not knowing what to do and totally lost. And then the other side of me kicks in, probably my higher self, the warrior type. I find my strength, I flow through it, I push through it, conquer it, and then move forward. And a lot of the time I don't really look back unless it has a spiritual type kind of truth to it, which I did in my last hospital stay. But it's really interesting because as I grew older, I noticed that people around me always thought I was 100% happy all the time, that I really didn't have any negative emotions, or that I didn't really have any emotional struggles, and it was quite the contrary. Yes, I was happy, I was optimistic most of the time, and I still am. However, I didn't feel like I could express my sadness without being a burden to someone else. I felt like I couldn't be angry because I should be blessed and I should be thankful for what I went through. And in a lot of ways, that was pressure I put on myself. It was just how I viewed how people looked at me, and I took that to heart. I took that as a responsibility to show only the positive sides to me. Well, that came crashing down as I got older, and it really didn't involve many people, but unfortunately I found myself in not so great romantic relationships, destructive behaviors, and it wasn't anything like drugs or anything, nothing like that, but just different behaviors that really didn't help my future. And it got to the point that I even married into a marriage that I thought was going to be the one, and a very loving relationship, and it really became a emotionally abusive marriage for 10 years before I married the second one, who was wonderful. So it was really, really kind of a roller coaster, as anybody's would be. And it doesn't make mine less or any more than anybody else's. We all go through different things. But it came to when my second husband passed in 2015 that I slowly started awakening to my inner self. I really started to pay attention, and that's usually when someone's awakening does happen. It's after a traumatic experience. Not everybody's, but the majority of theirs. And I started seeing different things from a different perspective. Hence, my card readings. That's how the card readings came to be, because I was more in touch with my angels, more in touch with the spiritual realm, and more in touch just with the inner true self that I have. And it really opened my eyes to knowing that it's okay to have the other emotions. It's okay to have anger. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have self-doubt or uncertainty. And we all have those feelings because we're all human. That's what we're here to experience. We're here to experience the light and the dark, so that way we can find and remember our true selves while we're here. And once I started realizing this slowly over time, working through my anxiety, working through all the baggage I carried along with me for so long, I started realizing that it's okay if people don't understand. If they expect me to be a certain way because that's how they wanted my story to be, that's on them. I didn't have to stay in that story. I was able to change that story, change my belief system, and boy, how did I do that. I just started changing things slowly but surely. I started putting into spiritual practices. I started talking more about my emotions. I started making sure that I was able to express those emotions, whether it made people uncomfortable or not. Not that I infringed on anybody or dumped on anybody, but it was the way I knew how to express myself, whether it's through writing, blogging, or just talking to a really good friend. And it really helped me go through my issues and really transmute them into the light one by one. And honestly, to be really transparent, I'm still going through that, but nothing compared to how I was a year ago. A year ago, I was doing really well from a year before that, just like a lot of us do. But I was a lot further back than I am now. This year has defined my life in so many different ways for the better. And now I'm starting to do things that I used to be afraid of doing. Now I'm starting to trust in the universe, trust in the process, and trust my intuition. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is a lot of us tend to stay stuck in that mentality that we're a certain way and that's it. It's all in the ego mind. The ego mind keeps everything rigid, keeps everything in a box where nothing can change, and this is how you are, and that's the way you are for the rest of your life. Not so. Reality in the 5D sense is a lot more fluid. When you start understanding that you can change it, blink of an eye, anytime you want, that's when the magic starts happening. That's when you start cultivating your true self. You start breaking out of that matrix shell and start realizing that, hey, I can do this, instead of telling yourself you can't. When you start affirming that you can actually go out there and do what you want to do, as long as you're not bringing harm to anyone, the sky's the limit. And I feel like, as my good friend Sultan said one time in one of his videos, I feel like I'm breaking out of the cocoon and turning into a butterfly. That journey never really ends. We're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always becoming better versions of ourselves, hopefully. And so I know a year from now I'll be a lot different as well, and hopefully for the better. But I want to encourage you guys to look within yourselves. Look at what you're telling yourself every day. Look at if you're telling yourself a self-limiting belief that, oh, well, this is the way it is, and I'm stuck in this job, I'm stuck how I am, I can't change my appearance, I can't change my mind, I can't say no, I'm just going to do this, I'm going to be in this hamster wheel for the rest of my life, and this is just the way it is. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's always comfortable. Sometimes it is uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to feel those emotions and really push through it. But I'm going to tell you something. If you stick with it, if you believe in yourself that you can change whatever you want to change, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. You will come through on the other side. You just have to believe and trust in what is in store for you. And when you stop the self-negative talk and the self-limiting beliefs, you start seeing your outer reality change. Because when you do that work on the inner reality of yourself, your outer reality starts reflecting that. It's a mirror. And my outer reality is slowly starting to shift into a better one. And now I'm starting to see outside of that outer reality where I feel like I can totally change my life in time. So for some of you, it may be a little leap, it may be a huge leap. Mine has been consistent of both over the past year. And yeah, it's a little scary sometimes, but it's exciting too. And I feel like so many doors are opening for me. And I know they will for you too. But the first step is to actually take a look at that within yourself and see what you're telling yourself every day. Even if it's something simple as telling yourself some positive affirmations every day when you wake up. Because the first few minutes you wake up, that is the time that will set your whole day. So if you're waking up to news and social media and telling yourself you can't, you're not worthy and you're not valuable, of course that's going to set your whole day, and that's a domino effect into the next day and the next day after that. It's time to break the chains. It's time to break that belief system that you aren't worth that change. When you start telling yourself that you are, whether you believe it right away or not, but start actually vocalizing, I am worthy, I am strong, I am beautiful, I do provide value to this world, I can help others, I am abundant, I am healthy, I am strong, I am loved. When you start saying those things every single day, remember, you're listening. And whatever your ego hears, it believes. So then eventually you'll start feeling and really believing in what you're telling yourself. And it's a lot more powerful than negative talk, but it takes more discipline in order to do that. So I just wanted to share that little story with you guys today and just tell you that I believe in you. I know you guys can do whatever you put your mind to and whatever you put your heart into. But you have to believe it. You have to believe and break those systems that telling you you can't, because you can. So, anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but I just figured that might help someone out there. I hope it does. I know someone told me that once and it changed my life. And I have someone in my life who's really, really helping me through the tough spots in my life. And anytime I start swirling or start spiraling, he kind of reins me back in. And it really, really helps to have that one person that helps you. So if you do have someone you can count on, whether it's a friend, a loved one, a significant other, a parent, a brother or sister, or even a coworker, tell them thank you. Help them. Let them help you, because it's okay to accept the help. And that's what you're in each other's lives for. There's a reason for every person being in your life and for everything that happens. So anyway, now I will be quiet. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I love you guys so, so much. I am rooting for you. Let me know how you're doing. Leave me a comment below. I would love to engage with you. And let me know what you might like to change and what your belief systems are and whether they limit you or whether they inspire you. And let us all engage in a conversation and maybe help each other. So until the next Mindful Monday, to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste. And before I get into the topic, I just wanted to congratulate you. Yeah, congratulations for watching my awesome video. Okay. Yeah, ego much. And I'm back with another Mindful Monday. That flipper just killed me. Oh my God, I can't believe I was going to congratulate you. Congratulations. You are watching the Pixie Palace. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, Pixie. Wow, Jen.